Well, boys and girls, we're going into the final 3 games of the season, top of the league. But those final 3 games of the season are against Atletico Madrid, Barcelona and Real Madrid. So, still got to do our bit. Hello and welcome to Club 6, part 45 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have home games in La Liga, massive home games against Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. If we win both of these, it will make it much easier to go to Real Madrid tomorrow on the last day of the league season and then win the league. I don't think we're going to win the league today unless Real Madrid drop points, and we know Real Madrid don't really drop points. So we've just got to try and beat the other 2 big teams in this country and set ourselves up to try and pull off a double in tomorrow's episode. Since you were last with me, form has been very good again. As you can see, April was a lovely green month, and look at how many goals we're scoring as well. And this has been the month of Ramazan Korkmaz. He's our new left winger. I know the first part of the season was all about Ruiz. Ruiz is not our starting left winger anymore. This man is, and he's scoring goals from out there. He's an accomplished wide midfielder on the left-hand side now, playing as an inside forward. If we have a look at his stats, his recent form, look at that April that he's had playing as an inside forward. In fact, go back to March. Goal, assist, and 2 goals, 2 assists. Ooh, that was a poor game. Goal, 2 goals and an assist. Korkmaz is having a whale of a time playing as a winger. The form of his career, the season of his career. He's our new winger. Let's go and beat Atletico Madrid. Hopefully for the first of 2 occasions in the next 4 matches, because we also face this lot in the Copa del Rey final. We all know we're not that bothered about the Copa del Rey, but it'd be nice to win it as well. He says as well. We've got to win these 2 matches to have an as well. So we're going out there with Zielinski in goal, a back 4 of Ryback, Rigor, Quito and Serdic, with Ramos and Ats in midfield, Korkmaz, Benko and Gould behind Perez. That is about as good as we get. You could argue maybe Lorenzo for Benko makes the team a smidgen better, but Benko has actually been in some pretty decent form recently as well. If we have a look at his recent form, things are starting to pick up a little bit for Benko as he gets a nice little run in the team. So let's get into it. Let's go and win some football matches. And we've had a little bit of an injury crisis on the right-hand side as well. Gould is now back fit again, but for a while there we'd lost Gould and Montero. Lorenzo was playing out on the right wing for a while, which is why Benko's had his run of games. And then Lorenzo got injured just as Gould got back into the team. So it's a bit of a cursed position at the moment. Recent form standings have them in second place while we're first. So they're a team in good form. We can potentially clinch the title with a win. Can we? Let's say that then. Let's passionately say we can potentially clinch the title. I don't see how we can. If we win and Real Madrid lose their game, we'll be 5 points ahead of them with 2 games to go. I know I'm not the best at football maths, but that to me doesn't work. In fact, Real Madrid have already played their game. I don't see how we can win the league today. Someone will no doubt let me know. Look at the state of that goal difference, by the way. A goal difference of 77. Real Sociedad down in 4th place are on a goal difference of -2. We're on a goal difference of 77. We're a good team. How did we bottle the Champions League the way we did? Korkmaz heads across to Perez. Ats picks up from the corner, and it was aimed towards Korkmaz again at that far post. But Atletico have a little bit of a break on here, but there's Rigor charging back, plays it to Quito. This is what £200 million buys you at centre-back. Those 2 together starting to look like a very good partnership. And Gould's done brilliantly there. Plays it across to Korkmaz, who's in space. Korkmaz squares back to Gould. Gould had an absolute sitter that he's missed there. I don't know how he's managed not to score a goal from that situation. First half hour of this game, we've had 70% of the possession, and Atletico haven't had a shot yet. This is the second best team in La Liga on form we're playing. This is how good we can be on our day. The only issue is we've not actually scored yet. And we've seen this before in the Champions League. Gould plays it over to Ryback. Ryback in a crossing position, floats it over towards no one in particular, really. That was a poor cross. Gets another opportunity, plays it into Ramos. Ramos back out to Ryback. Ryback crosses to Benko, finds Perez, and we've hit the post or the crossbar or There was wood involved. I saw wood. How are we not ahead in this game? We're going in at half-time 0-0. We have absolutely dominated that first half and somehow not scored. We have been the better team. Just keep doing what you're doing and we'll be fine. I can't believe, if we have another half like that one, I cannot believe we won't win this game. But we're obviously just trying to make it hard for ourselves, the way only we can. Serdic with the throw to Gould. Serdic now crosses over towards Korkmaz. I don't know what's happened there. Is that Korkmaz scoring? He's fouled the keeper, surely. The keeper went flying. It actually looked like an own goal on first inspection. I expect this to be disallowed because I think... Has he allowed it? This is going to be a controversial one. The whole of Madrid is in uproar at the moment. Actually, you know what? Keeper just flapped at it and missed, and Korkmaz had an open goal. I take it all back. He's not fouled him at all. It's Sevilla 1, Atletico Madrid 0, and that puts us 5 points clear of Real Madrid, which that's not enough to win the league. I don't understand. What else do we have to do to clinch the title today? It's madness. Who's that on a yellow card in midfield? You know what we're like in these big matches. I want to make sure... Get the mouse out of the way, Kev. I want to make sure... Oh, it's not Ats. That's fine then. Oh, Ats is actually doing brilliantly here and fires just wide from the edge of the area. But the moment Ats picks up a yellow card, he is off this pitch. We are not giving him the opportunity to get himself sent off unless he just has an absolute moment of madness and does a thigh-high tackle on someone or something. And there's no accounting for that as his manager. Perez just over. Perez has had quite a poor game today, actually. He's had a couple of big chances that he's missed. We've got Abraham on the bench. And I think, in fact, we've got Abraham and Garcia as options because we could push Korkmaz up front, which I think might be the better of the two options. And then... Well, my assistant manager says Abraham on the left wing. I think Garcia's done, isn't he? If that's the case, I'll bring Abraham on up front because I really like Korkmaz on the wing. Is that stupid? Benko, there's no one to bring on for. What we could do is switch to this and bring on good old Tony Moreno. When in doubt... Bring Moreno on. We could have brought Soto on as well as an option there, but we'll go with a Moreno. Soto can come on for Ats. If Ats does something stupid, he can be there as our insurance policy for the rest of midfield. Ryback now. Building from the back with a lump forward towards... Was that Abraham who was aiming towards? Abraham, who's barely kicked a ball all season. Should be fresh. Chasing down the keeper here. Look at the pressing that we've got going on. I love this pressing game that we've got. Serdic... Has he given away a penalty there? I thought he chased back brilliantly. We go over to the little telly. The little telly was in our favour the last time the referee went over there. It is a penalty review. I hope this is just outside the area. I think it might have been, but is there going to be more controversy in this game? It looked like he was pointing to the... Was he pointing to the penalty spot? Or it doesn't look like it's a penalty. It's a free kick. A yellow card for Serdic, who I think has probably got away with it a little bit there. Look how close that was to the edge of the area. Right. What are we going to do as a final substitution? Ramos has picked up a yellow card in midfield. Ats is actually having a poor game. You know what? I might just take him off anyway, just to protect him. Soto can come on and play in that midfield for the final 10 minutes for us. And I don't know what... should I praise them? We're only 1-0 up, but we are winning. And I want to say something encouraging. And praise is really the only thing I've ever been able to say when we've been ahead in football matches. So let's praise them. Hope it doesn't cause them to do something really dumb. Rigor heads forward only as far as Soto, but we've got Moreno in there now to clean up any of these messes. And here's Gould charging down the right-hand side. He's got options ahead of him. There's Abraham. Abraham just... wide. I think he's another one who will probably look to move on this summer. He's a decent striker, but I just don't see that he's going to get enough game time. And if we can move him on and bring in another real top quality striker, it's just more players to rotate. I forgot to say, after all the financial stuff, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll already know the club is somehow in profit according to the game. But we've been given a £70 million transfer budget for the summer and a hugely increased wage budget. it seems, I'll show you the details in a second, but it seems that the board have followed my lead and decided we're just going to roll the dice and go for it one more time. And despite the fact we spent all that money in January, they're giving me even more to spend this summer. So it's not me. I'm not bankrupting anything. The board are fully on board with my goals and my plan for success, because they're throwing money at me quicker than I can spend it. So we're over £100 million in debt, but that's our budget for the summer. £73 million transfer budget, and an extra £400,000 a week's been put on the wage budget. We could bring in 2 real top quality players this summer and just pretend that screen doesn't exist. In fact, the projection's looking a little bit better than it has recently, which is interesting. Remember that it's slightly misleading because we've got prize money and stuff to come in yet. So if we have a look at the shape of things normally, you get to about there and prize money flies in. So June, July time, it's normally like an extra £50 million thrown into the kitty. So it's not going to clear the debt completely. But it seems to me that the board are comfortable with that level of debt, or else they wouldn't be doing that. Right, now we go into the Barcelona game, knowing that if we win this, we will win the league. I can check the maths now. We've got a game in hand on Real Madrid. We play them next. So we're in a strong position regardless. It's not helped by the fact that we've got issues in midfield. Ramos is suspended and Ats is injured. Ats has a concussion. I suspect somebody's just hit him in the head to stop him messing up winning the title. So he's going to be sitting this and the Real Madrid game out. So we're shuffling things around a little bit. O'Neill comes in. We don't really have an obvious option to partner him. So I hit Quick Pick to see what Quick Pick suggested. And that suggested Quito. And I'm looking, do I go Quito? Do I go Moreno? Do I go Soto? And I'm going to go with what Quick Pick says, because trusting what the game tells me to do has never gone wrong in the past, as those of you who watch home will know. It's never gone wrong there. So we'll do that, which means Annan comes back in, a little bit of experience at the back. I have to admit that was a nice thing to be able to do, bring him back into the team to potentially win the title in what's probably going to be one of his last games for the club. We'll probably be moving him on in the summer along with Silva, bring Bamba back and maybe bring in a 4th centre-back and just completely rejuvenate the back four. But he comes in, O'Neill comes in, Quito moves forward. We have played Quito in midfield a couple of times already in previous games, so it's not that I've never seen him play there before. And he looks like one of those frustratingly good players who can play just as well in midfield or at the back. So you never know. His future might be in midfield, but at the moment he's a defender playing a little bit out of position there. And we had a team meeting where I told them we were going to win the league, and they were all happy. So let's do that again, and then they're less happy now. Why were you so happy when we did that at the training ground, but now I try and do it in front of people and you make me look like an idiot? Why can't you just behave when we've got guests here? My word. Right, why are Barcelona the only team who are getting the ball at the moment? This is, by the way, we've kind of built this up as the final 3 matches against the big 3 teams in Spain, but looking at that league table, Barcelona have had a bit of an off season. They're down in 6th place. No Champions League football for them next year unless they beat us and win their last game and have other results go their way. Because at the moment, Valencia and Real Sociedad are both ahead of them in the queue for the 4th Champions League spot. They're certainly not in the elite group with us, Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. So it's you would think this is a game we should be able to win even in a slightly weakened state. And the other part of me is thinking Barcelona job might be available in the summer. Benko's just scored an absolute screamer. 9th goal of the season for him. And I think finally in this run-in, we're finally starting to see the player we spent £44 million on nearly 2 years ago. We didn't see him at all last year, but he's finally starting to look like a I won't say top quality attacking midfielder, but a very good attacking midfield player who does make me think twice about what is probably my main summer transfer target. Because at the moment I'm thinking world-class attacking midfielder is the main thing that I want. Perez hits the post from miles out. But thinking back to the Monaco games really in the Champions League, on the big stage when we needed a little bit of a spark of creativity, we just didn't really have it. A lot of our players are quite direct players, Ats and Ramos are quite direct in midfield. Perez, Korkmaz, Gould, these are all quite direct players. Even Benko and Lorenzo, they're both better as attacking midfielders rather than playmakers. And we don't really have that person who's got the moment of genius in them to help us out when we have a game like the Monaco games. That's the kind of player I'd like to bring in. But Benko's making it difficult to think that way because he's playing so well recently and might have just scored the goal that wins us the league, which is, I mean, that's a good way to secure yourself a squad spot for next year. Talking about players and transfers, Gabriel Enrique, supposedly the one that got away, not in the Barcelona team that we're currently beating. The two that we brought in instead, Korkmaz, Perez, both in our team. I know factual historians will say, actually, Kirby brought in Abraham and he doesn't play at all. But if we'd have signed Henrique, we might not have gone and got Korkmaz and Perez because we'd have been happier with what we had. So I think it's all related. Right, there's nobody to bring on for Gould because of all the injuries we've had on that right-hand side over the course of the season so far. So he's just going to have to stay on. Gravosti can come on for Selic. I just want to bring players on. I know I don't have to. I know it's weird the way I do substitutions, and you lot sometimes think it's weird. But there you go. We'll bring Moreno on for Quito as well. Quito probably a little bit hard done by leaving the pitch there. The obvious thing to do would be to take Annan off and drop Quito back. But it gets Moreno into the midfield, which was the important thing. And now O'Neill's picked up a yellow card. I think I might bring him off, bring Soto on, and we'll just have Soto and Moreno together in there. We're back where we were when we first arrived at Sevilla now. We could drop those two back in front of the back four and play the original Sevilla system. Soto has been upgraded to Wonder Kid. When did that happen? I like the fact we've had another Wonder Kid come for our own system. Are we going to hold on? I should probably be praising us. Korkmaz taking a corner. Should be the last move of the game, really. Let's throw a bit of praise anyway. Moreno, edge of the area, finds Soto. Soto, back to Moreno. Plays it all the way across to Rigor. What's he doing out there? Rigor plays it over to Gould. Just trying to get rid of it. He doesn't want it. We've won the title 3 years in a row. Back to back champions, I think. Why are we not getting presented with a trophy? Congratulations. I'm happy. Yeah, so I think we've won the league. Let's just double check. It does worry me that it was our last home game of the season and we haven't had the trophy. No, there you go. We have retained the La Liga title for the third season in a row. See, we can't call this season a failure now, and that's actually been the most comfortably we've done it so far, I think. Benko did very well. Still only 23, remember. Deserves a lot of praise for his part of that, but he's not got potential to improve, has he? I think my summer shopping list remains unchanged. World-class midfielder coming in, but the important thing is we've won the title for the third time in a row. We've got loads of money to spend. We'll be back tomorrow with that final game of the season against Real Madrid, which we can afford to lose now. Hopefully we won't, because we've been in nice form. And then, fingers crossed, we pick up our first double of the series by picking up the Copa del Rey against Atletico Madrid. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.